All right, welcome back to Twin Terror. I'm David.
Not Gary.
And we're going to look at the January 6th election certification because, well, if we don't do that one today, it's probably going to be too late. We record this at Sunday at about 2:30 p.m. Pacific time.
Yes.
And the clock behind Gary is backing me up there. Although you can't tell the day, you can see the time. And I'm sure Gary's moving it around, wondering what other people use for aftershave.
Yes, indeed. So today's, as Dave said, today's Sunday the 5th. I'm back in town. Laura and I went to Big Sur over the weekend. When we got married, we honeymooned at Big Sur. So whenever we weren't, producing a child, we've gone back to Big Sur for our anniversary.
TMI.
Yeah, this was
20
not
children, by the way.
This was not an anniversary trip, but it was certainly it's just nice to be there. And so I
when there's a road there to go down.
The road to Big Sur from the Bay Area is still there, but if you want to go to Hearst Castle, you have to go back through Monterey and down 101.
Exactly, you have to go around.
It's been closed for over a year and a half.
Well, did you see the damage to it?
No.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm sure large sections of the road are missing.
Exactly. Yeah. Somebody took a giant bite out of the road there.
Yeah. But it's just really nice. I did read all the comments. I didn't respond nearly at the rate that I'm used to responding. So apologies to those folks out there that maybe we're expecting a better, or at least a more of a response than they got than maybe a hearted comment or a thumbs up.
Harding at least acknowledges that you read it. You don't have to respond to everything.
I read all of them. There was only one person I had to block that was getting way too Trumpy for me.
Oh, I had to block some folks that were talking about Mrs. Robinson and her crypto program.
Oh, God.
And then the 23 responses that go to that. It's like, there's some spammers out there that got they try to get sophisticated. One person posts up a random thing, then they've got all these troll things that reply to it. Yes, so I do reverse engineer. I report everyone starting with the last reply and work my way back up so that they're all blocked.
Yes, exactly. I've done that too.
Yeah.
But
I'm not just cutting off the head. We're chopping up the body all the way to the head. All of the accounts get blocked.
Exactly. So I was just telling David, I was really just kind of down. I was, looking at what's been going on the last few days. And then I went over onto the AP News and to check what was going on. And I decided I'd go over to Fox News and see what was going on their website.
I told Gary that the other day when they announced that the Treasury Department put sanctions against Iran and Russia. The Fox News website didn't cover it. What they did cover was the fact that Trump and Elon and Melania were dancing to YMCA. So it shows you the hard-hitting reporting that you're getting from Fox Entertainment. But carry on.
Yeah, it's just it's just disheartening what you see on the Fox Entertainment news site. And then my wife had recently gone to North Carolina, and she was visiting with a friend who watches pretty much nothing but Fox News. And what Fox News they've got a ticker that shows how many U.S. citizens have been killed by illegal aliens in 2024.
The little ribbon going across the bottom?
Yeah, it's like every day is, another U.S. citizen was raped or killed by an illegal alien. And my wife's friend was like, how do you not know about this? And it's just there is no other news network, left or right, that is doing this. I mean, you just see the fear mongering and the fear peddling that they're putting out there.
It's their heroin.
It's just I'm glad I wasn't there, because then I would have just told your friend, it's well, I'll tell you what, that's fine. Why don't you tell me what you know about the Jan 6 trials? Because Fox didn't air any of the Jan 6 trials. Now, if there was some college kid in Athens, Georgia, that got murdered by some illegal immigrant who's been deported out of the U.S. Previously. It's tragic, but it's not national news. Yet here's the January 6th trials, which are national news, but they don't even show it.
Right.
And it's so frustrating. Don't go out on Fox News. It's just depressing. You have to have a stronger constitution than I have to go out there and look at that nonsense.
And that led to a conversation that I had with Michelle earlier today and shared it with Gary. It's like a Calvin and Hobbes cartoon. They used to have a hilarious one where they would have something called Backwards Day, where everything was backwards. Mm-hmm. And so left is right, up is down, yes is no, that sort of thing. And that's where Earth 1 and Earth 2 sort of come in here, that we're not living on the same planet. I even found a quote from the Bible, from Isaiah 5:20. They say that what is right is wrong, what is wrong is right, that black is white and white is black, bitter is sweet and sweet is bitter. And there, the passage, the little paragraphs I was reading, it was about people basically planting their vines on a hill, and it didn't give them the results they wanted to. So what should they do? Should they tear down the vines and let the hill go to ruin and let the cattle tromp all over it? Basically burn down everything that had been built before it. And people that they start drinking early in the morning, go late at night, as opposed to tending their fields. And then those same people challenge God, saying, taunting him, basically, oh, you're going to punish us, we'll go for it. We're waiting to see what the punishment's going to be. That it goes to the black, and these same people are the ones that tell you black is white, up is down, left is right, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And it just, and there was the other part I was talking was about them taking a bunch of land and building their mansions on it and excluding other people, so other people don't have places to live. It's just, you're trying to put yourself apart from the collective, make yourself seem like you're better than everybody else. And then when things don't go your way, you want to burn it all down and start again. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of, interestingly enough, it's where we are right now, that a lot of the programs we have in place, they started out well, but then other things get slapped onto it, and it's kind of a rickety structure. And part of us doesn't want it to go, Social Security, for instance, we don't want it torn down because people are going to suffer, and can't you fix it without tearing it down? Elon Musk wants to blow everything up, make crypto the new currency. Yeah, yeah. Elon Musk is the embodiment of that Isaiah chapter 5, verses 1-20 passage type thing. But, that doesn't mean that things can't be fixed. And the thing is, he wants to burn it down, but then make something even worse that he thinks is great, that'll benefit him in his mansion on the hill.
Yeah, and the whole black is white, sour is sweet, or bitter is sweet, sweet is bitter. Yeah. I mean, that is the whole strategy of Trump. He's every accusation is a confession, right?
Right.
And it's like, oh, well, during the debate, Biden's going to take some super pill and he's going to be a really good debater. And, that's just another trick that the Democrats have up their sleeve. It's like, really? And then, Trump comes out on fire, and, he's got some little cocktail, Dr. Ronnie Jackson cocktail coursing through his veins. So it's just, we're in biblical times, as it were. So, and we'll probably touch on that in a future reading. But for now, let's look at the election certification for January 6th.
Yep.
That's going to happen tomorrow. And just
some folks have been putting in the comments. I even found a TikTok or two about this, saying that like 22 states haven't submitted their electoral votes, and like 6 of the swing states haven't done it. I can't find any news to support that. So I'm not saying it's not true, but if I can't find any, that's newsworthy.
Yeah.
Especially because they're supposed to submit it back at the beginning of December. first couple of December.
The election's supposed to be certified by like mid-December, right. And then the electoral votes had to be sent by like Christmas time. They had to be sent to.
And you can imagine if they weren't done, you would have heard about it.
Oh yeah.
So, and you're hearing stuff on TikTok and stuff like that. Take it with a grain of salt. It doesn't mean it's not true, but I would say the probability that it's true seems low.
Yeah. Because
you can't find any information to confirm it.
Yeah, do some due diligence.
And I don't want to give you all false hope thinking, it's possible. It's possible. And the reason why you would do that is you're getting ready to gear up your 14th Amendment Section 3 speech. And I don't know when that gets implemented. I don't know when people are supposed to bring that up because it doesn't say when you're supposed to bring it up. It just says you can't be the president if you did that. Unless Congress, 2/3 of Congress says you can be.
Yeah.
Ain't no way he's getting that.
Okay. Well, let's look at the energy of this election certification now that we're almost 12 minutes into this.
Yeah, I know, right? All right. Thank you, everyone. For entertainment purposes only, I'm going to lead off on this one here. Let's just look at what's the certification energy going to look like tomorrow, January 6th. Okay, 3 of coins. You have the negotiations. Could it be dark? Maybe. Could it be a conspiracy going on? Possibly. But you've got groups meeting. Queen of Pentacles. Here's your electoral ballot sitting in there. There might be some shenanigans going on.
Oh, dear.
And then you've got the 4 of coins underneath it. Gary has this as his Trump greedy card. Man, mine. I think that, there could be some states that say, we need to discuss things. But generally speaking, I think it's going to go, he's going to get his votes. Let's see what the rest of them say. In the past, you got the emperor. You're going to put him in as king. This is the king anointing portion of it. It's ceremonial, but it's the king anointing portion of it. The current energy of that one's going to be the 5 of swords, the winner takes all type of thing. And then you got the emotional walking away, the humiliation part of it. Is this Biden being told to go? Or is there going to be, maybe there could be a challenge that humiliates Trump a little bit. There might be something that happens there. Lesson we learned, 9 of swords. Something may happen quickly tomorrow. There might be some challenge. The Democrats said they weren't going to challenge the election, but there might be some grumping going on here that, hey, wait a second, maybe some electoral votes get withheld because of the 14th Amendment. This is out of the blue, talking about the stolen election. It's possible that they, I don't get the feeling like it's going to get held up, but I'm just wondering if somebody at some point starts talking about the 14th Amendment during this process. Mm-hmm. And, the outcome is the 7 of swords. And I think what that 7 of swords is that, you know what? They did the dark work and they got their votes. They succeeded getting their votes, and now they're trying to distance themselves quickly from the voting. It's again, for those who watch football, you can challenge a play that's controversial by throwing a flag onto the field. One of the coaches can do that. But if another play occurs before you throw your challenge flag out, you can't throw the challenge flag out. So it's almost like they're hurrying up the offense to get on the field to make another play. Force Mike Johnson through his speaker. You don't even want him as speaker, but they'll get him through there so that this part can go through there as they try and race to January 20th as fast as possible. The other thing to throw out there for you, which you'll enjoy, you know how Trump keeps saying Biden should just resign and give me the presidency now? Yeah. That just kind of underscores that whole sentiment that they're worried that they may not make it to January 20th before, they won't get Trump across the line on January 20th. It's like their whole sole focus is to get him over the 20th. and they will deal with everything else after that date.
All right, so
you
will the Democrats do anything on January 6th to stop the certification of the election and giving Trump the 2020?
You're talking about the do-nothing Democrats.
Okay.
Doing nothing.
Foundation is the empress. Mother Russia certainly wouldn't want that.
Yeah, Putin doesn't want that.
Yeah, it's just, hey,
Hey, was that Laura this weekend? Lounging around in her pajamas in luxury.
Yes, well, the Republicans have everything they want. Everything is coming up roses for them so far.
They're lounging around in their pajamas.
The challenge is the moon. There's still some unknown quantity about these ballots, the Electoral College and the votes. There's still some confusion and mystery around it. They just might not. I wonder if they've had enough time to get to the bottom of it. Underneath it, the Knight of Pentacles, kind of sitting back, observing, making an offer. This is not a great card. If you want the Democrats to get out there and do something, Knight of Swords would have been a much better card than the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, they're being patient and observing. In the past, you got the King of Swords. Certainly, there are many that feel that there have been shenanigans going on. The King of Swords is just basically, this is what happened. And that's it's sort of the messaging they've been coming out. We're not challenging the results of the election. The public has spoken and Trump was elected. That doesn't mean the 14th Amendment can't come into play, but they were not challenging the results of the election. Current energy is the death card. Something major coming to an end. Is it our representative democracy, or is it Trump's candidacy as 47th president of the United States?
Sure, pulling a lot of major arcana on this one.
Yeah, I tend to do that. It's the way I fix the cards, apparently.
Exactly.
Overarching energy. I was kind of wondering if this was going to come up. The Knight of Cups, going out there and making an offer. Okay, so if the Democrats are going to do something, the thing is, practical Gary is like, never in my 59 years has there been anything that would suggest that something's going to happen out of the.
I know, right? It's just unprecedented times. You think about our entire lives up until, say, 2016, maybe 2020, kind of obviously. What? They're not going to be a peaceful transfer of power? Surely you jest.
Yes. So, I'm having a tough time believing that the Democrats are actually going to do something to bring an end to this inauguration run by Trump, and by giving him some sort of offer. Lesson to be learned: the Queen of Pentacles, taking care of the ballots, taking care of the election, taking care of the voters, taking care of the American public, and the outcome. Star to me is always like the best of democracy. Mm-hmm. The Constitution and honoring the kind of the tenets of our democracy.
It almost makes you wonder. Mm-hmm. By the way, the Knight of Coins was your underlying. Yeah, right? That's like that's a nurse. That has to be like a mercenary card, paid soldier. I look at that. I do wonder if the Biden administration starts hinting at a deal with Trump. Like, hey, by the way, you might not want to take this office. You might want to consider, resigning this. I don't know how that would work, because you'd have to basically promise him immunity or something like that to do this.
Okay, so I'm gonna read this a little more cynical, Gary, if you will.
Oh, cool. Let's have Cynical Gary.
Cynical Gary.
I'm going to make it all you.
If I was going to read this as Cynical Gary, Republicans got everything they want.
Yep.
They had a very confusing campaign that somehow was successful. We won this election. There was no interference, and you can't prove anything. This is the end of the Democrats saying that there was, if there was any kind of election interference, this is going to end with this counting of the ballots.
Right.
There'll be some Democrats saying, well, we'll work with the Republicans to bipartisan legislation because it's in the best interest of the American people, and democracy will continue on.
That's a reasonable interpretation of those cards.
Yeah.
That is a very reasonable interpretation.
That's not what hopeful Gary wants.
No.
Gary that wants kindness and harmony and good things for everybody is not going to be happy with that reading. But that's kind of where my center is right now. My center is not where I normally would like it to be.
Kim from Intuit
purposes only.
Kim from Intuit View described that if Trump and the Republicans get in, it would be a much quicker resolution, but it would be like walking on broken glass barefoot as opposed to taking a looping, gentle 5-mile stroll. Mm-hmm. No, I don't like the visualization of walking on broken glass, but I saw this picture the other day of somebody walking on Legos, and I thought that was as appropriate, and I think more of us have accidentally stepped on Legos than we've stepped on broken glass.
Yeah.
And stepping on Legos is effing painful, man.
Yes, it is.
And you're cursing your children, and heck, it was even my own Legos that I've stepped on as a kid. And I could yell at Gary, I suppose, but if I was the one that didn't put the Legos away, and that's kind of the thing. I didn't put the Legos away. And I stepped on them in my barefoot, and it hurt like a. But who do you blame but yourself? Because your toys, you put them away. Mother's out there saying, "Clean up your toys when you're done," and you like, "Yeah, shut up! I'm not cleaning up." And then you step on it. Mm-hmm. Lesson learned: stepping on Legos hurts, and we might just have to step on some Legos. Almost to the point we should rename the channel. Stepping on Legos.
Stepping on Legos. That might be our motto for the next 4 years.
I do think it will be.
All right, Andrew, you want to go anywhere else with this?
Yeah, it's just like, will there be shenanigans? Will the Democrats? Will there be holdout delegates? Or no, more to the point, will Trump get enough delegates to get over the line, anyways? Because I mean, if Washington State doesn't want to give him 5 delegates, doesn't matter in the end of the day if he still has the 270. Will Trump get the delegates he needs to get over? The moon card, it's unknown. There's lunacy. By the way, when you had pulled that moon card out on yours,
that was a challenge.
It's almost like I had that same card came up with Mike Johnson. And it's kind of one of those things that they win a battle, but they're not going to win the war. Mm-hmm. It's like, congratulations, you got Mike Johnson in there so that you don't get held up. But now you got Mike Johnson in there.
Yeah.
And he's terrible as a leader. No offense to Mike Johnson, but some people are not born to lead, and he is not one of those people born to lead. And now as they get to this budget, they have to get to in March, and there's 11 terrorists called the Freedom Caucus that are going to hold Mike Johnson's seat in the balance if he doesn't make severe spending cuts that are going to be political suicide for a lot of Republicans in Congress, but not for these 11 because they're in heavily gerrymandered or giantly red districts, so they're perfectly fine. He's between a rock and a hard place. And, just because you got Mike Johnson in there doesn't mean you now no longer have a leader to bring them to heel to get the agenda forward here.
He's going to have his Kevin McCarthy moment.
Yeah. Will Trump get the votes? The truth will be, I think he will. There's going to be the celebration that he gets in.
Yeah.
that this is, but there's also a humiliation that's coming up for him. I had this card come up for Mike Johnson during the House Speaker thing, and it was like in the overarching energy of the thing. This is why I thought Johnson wasn't going to be there, because he's walking away. But I think this is also the emotional humiliation, the rejection and the humiliation. There's going to be something, I think, that happens in this process that's going to be somewhat humiliating to Trump. I don't know what that's going to look like. To me, it just goes smoothly. Maybe there'll be challenges of talking about the 14th Amendment that need to be discussed. But it's almost like there's got to be some people that speak out. I think somebody's going to bring up the 14th Amendment. I'm looking at the cards to see if I've got a 14 in here anywhere. I don't. I don't know. Will he get it? Yeah, I think he'll get it. But again, with the Moon card, it's like, be careful what you wish for. You might get it. So I think I think he'll get his votes. He'll get through there. But it's like it's going to lead you to the next step, which has to be, at some point, a discussion of the 14th Amendment. I don't know. I'm not sure what else to tell you about that one. There might be some drama. I think he'll get the votes, and I think the drama should be circulating around the 14th Amendment.
Forgive my lack of knowledge here, because I don't have all the cards memorized. Oh, here it is. Oh no, never mind. Death card's the 13th card. No clues in my poll either. Well, we'll find out about 24
the 13th might be when public information starts coming out. If Biden is going to release more information about stolen elections and such, it would probably be around the 13th, because Carter's being buried on the 9th.
More to follow.
And then the 10th is a Friday, and then the 13th would be that following Monday. Well, we'll see.
Exactly.
Don't give up hope, folks. They're certainly, the Republican Party, even though Johnson says they have a mandate, they don't. They've got currently a 4-person lead majority in the House. And if Trump gets in, he gets his other 2 House picks, it'll be a 217 to 215 majority until those House picks get replaced, or there's a runoff election for those seats. Matt Gaetz, Mike Waltz, and Elise Stefanik. And there is the potentiality with like Elise Stefanik's seat that she might lose that one, and then the Republicans still only have like 219 or 218 votes or something like that. They don't have a big majority. They don't have a mandate, and they're being held hostage by their far-right faction.
Yep.
And their far-right faction are the ones that are going to cause MAGA the most pain.
Yep.
All right. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video and supporting our channel. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, give it a thumbs up if you like this. Subscribe. We put out a new video every day at midnight. Leave a comment. I read them all, and I respond to many of them.
Yes, and we bring you something that no other channel brings you. Black cats sitting in chairs.
Ah, yes, that's true. We also bring you the secret card.
What is the secret card? What could it possibly be?
Is the 6 of Pentacles. You know, this is about balance and giving back.
Yeah, if you read your Bible, you would know that that's exactly the preachings of Christ. Of course, if you're a fake Christian, you wouldn't know that, would you?
No, you worship the almighty dollar and tell everyone else what to do.
Yeah, and quote Tropic Thunder, and then get upset when nobody understands your quotes. Indeed. Elon.
Yes.
All right, everyone. We'll catch you on the next video. Take care.
Bye.